How you guys doing? My name is Jainer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're gonna be talking about why the world is getting better, and we are just living in the best times ever. And if a person is smart enough, he would pick today and not 100 years ago to be alive. And so we're gonna discuss why we are living in the best times. I'm sure you guys have read in newspapers, have seen in the news that humans, all they do is destroy the earth, and future generations are not gonna have the good things that we have today, and progress, if it is a thing of the past, and nothing is improving. And I'm sure you guys have heard people saying as well, like recommending that parents do not have kids because they're going to suffer the consequences of the destruction we're causing on Earth. And so I'm here to dismiss all of that and to make a strong argument why everything is getting better. And if we work together, we can, our future generations could possibly have it better than us. So, but I guess when we talk about progress, when we talk about prosperity, that is never going to make the news. The news has a different agenda. So I'll be talking about, I'll be hitting three major points, which are important points when it comes to progress and understanding why everything is getting better. So I'll be talking about life expectancy and why we're living longer today than at any other time. I'll be talking about why there is less war, and I'll be talking about why we are living in the safest times ever, and it's safer to drive a car today. It is safer to get on a plane, and we just have more access to medicine and all of that. So now that you guys will know what I'll be talking about, let's talk about life expectancy. So the life expectancy today for the average American is 73.5 years. So compare that to the average age during the Industrial Revolution, when people were working 83 hours a week, and today the average American works 44 hours a week on average. And what we consider full-time today is 40 hours a week, and we have the weekends off. Well, some of us, not for all jobs, but back in at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, there was no such thing as weekends. So we can make a strong argument why people were living less during the Industrial Revolution. Today, people get to enjoy the fruits of their labor more. They get to spend time with their family. They get to enjoy practicing their hobbies. And as well, they get to, if you're a parent, you get to enjoy, dedicate more time to your kids and be more involved in their activities. And, that just proves that our life expectancy has been getting better. Another major thing that happened when we compare, when we go back 50, 100 years ago, is that kids suffer less from malnutrition today than at any other time in history. So it is more likely that a kid will make it past 10 because of we've been fighting malnutrition. We still see malnutrition in communist countries like Cuba, Venezuela, and countries that are struggling and are behind from the U.S. But it is safer for a kid in any place of the world today than at any other point in history. So that kid could expect to go and have a longer life than in the past. Let's talk about why it is safer today for a woman to give birth to a kid. You know, they have more access to medicine, and today families are having less kids because in the past, you know, a woman would have 5 kids, and out of those 5 kids, 1 or 2 would survive. And so today, since the child mortality at birth is so low, there is no need for a family to have 6 kids or 7 kids like they used to do in the past. And so that is, you know, very well documented. The death from birth of children has been decreasing dramatically. So let's talk about the major scientific discoveries that have saved millions of lives as well, and it's very well documented, but nobody talks about because we take it for granted. So let's talk about the chlorination of water that saved 177 million lives. So when we started drinking more clean water, you know, that saved a lot of lives, and I guess we completely forgot about that. Let's talk about the penicillin vaccine, which saved 82 million lives. So that helped fight sexual transmitted diseases. It helped fight, you know, other conditions that were killing people. And so, you know, to save 82 million lives, that just means that we're living in safer times. And if we, you know, by any chance contract a deadly disease, there is probably a cure, or we can live longer with it. So, you know, life gets better that way. So, and we can also talk about the smallpox eradication strategy that saved 131 million lives. So it is well documented that today there is no smallpox case in the United States. It is probably the dirtiest countries, the third world countries, that do have some cases of smallpox. But in the United States, that completely is gone. So to save 131 million lives, that just says a lot, and it proves that humans are not. You can't really say that humans, all we want to do is make the world worse. We're here to make everybody else miserable, and we do not care for progress. There's a lot of documents out there to be read. There's a lot of documentaries, books that, you know, if we just do our research, we can clearly see that we have been pushing for progress, and everything is getting better. So we just have to do our homework a little better. So now that you guys know why we're living longer, let's talk about the fact that there is less war today than at any other point in history. So today there are no major wars going on between countries. What we might see are civil wars. So civil wars are wars inside communities, inside cities of a country. So they're not major wars. And the majority of civil wars that we're seeing are coming from communist countries like Nicaragua and places like the Middle East. And you know, the more we have in common with other countries, and the more we exchange services, the more we'll do to remain at peace with other countries, and that is gonna prevent future wars, because you know, we are not willing anymore to to get stuff from other countries without asking for their permission. So instead, we are more inclined to establishing peace with other countries to exchange services, and continuing making the world a better place, and allowing for information to go, and allowing us to get information from other countries as well. So now that you guys know why there's less wars today, let's talk about safety. So it is a fact that today it is more safe today to go out for a walk on the sidewalk than at any other point in history. The reason why is because there is more light signals, there is more traffic law enforcement. We have better roads, so that means more light, more rules, and jaywalkers are more respected today than at any other point in history. So it is safer to cross the road. It is safer to drive a car. We can talk about that as well. The reason why there's less car accident, less deaths per car accident today, is because we have, cars have airbags today. Drivers are wearing seatbelts. It could be the case that since we have Bluetooth and we don't have to talk with our phones in our ears, we can focus more on the road. What else? And better roads means less accidents, because we hit a big hole in the road, and better roads is related to less car accidents. I would strongly argue that there are more car accidents because the roads completely suck in countries like Cuba, because a country that does not expend their money in roads, it's just not going to be safe to drive, and there are going to be more car accidents. There are basically no car accidents because of bad roads in the United States, and so that is one thing to take into consideration. We can also talk about why it is safer today to take a plane flight than in the 1970s, and plane crashes have been decreasing dramatically since the 1970s. In the 1970s and years before that, there were at least 6.5 deaths per 1 million passengers per flight. 6.5 deaths per 1 million passengers. Today, there's less than one death per 1 million passengers, and that just proves that even though we do see a plane crash in the news and we freak out, it's completely, it's more safe to get on planes. So now that you guys know why it is safer today, let's talk about what we everything, the major points that we hit. So we talked about why it is the case that we're living longer today. We talked about the reason why there is less wars, and we also talked about how we are more safe in our society today, and it's completely it's more safe to drive a car, to get on a plane, to cross the roads, and everything is getting better. So hopefully with this little video you guys stop freaking out and stop paying attention to the news 100%, because they do have an agenda. They do want to scare the public, and We all know they're saying when it comes to the news, if it bleeds, it leads. So I'm here to argue why sometimes they are completely wrong, and there's not a single network or news network that focuses on progress and focuses on how things are getting better. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and let me know if what was it that you guys liked the most. Thank you.